So Janice, we wanted to talk a little bit about the companies that are growing and scaling in our region. Heat to Power is doing some really interesting work related to waste heat conversion. Can you talk a little bit about how Spark has been involved in supporting their growth?
Yeah, we were able to give them some early consulting services, legal and financial, to get them up and running, find space to grow. We've provided them with our EIRs, which is our Entrepreneur in Residence program, pairing up an executive level entrepreneur to help them navigate all of these things. Big things ahead for them, and it's really exciting to be a part of the scaling of this really cool technology.
So when it comes to mobility, we need to think beyond just vehicles and transportation. One of the most important aspects of mobility is energy. Energy generation, energy storage, and energy distribution. And we believe our technology can play a pivotal role. We have the world's most efficient thermal photovoltaic. Thermal photovoltaics, or TPVs, are really the pivotal technology behind thermal batteries. They don't rely on rare materials. In fact, they rely on earth-abundant and cheap materials, and they cost about 10 times less than lithium-ion. I love Ann Arbor because it's a great place to live. There is a lot of unique work opportunities and a lot of opportunities for community engagement with our own technology. I think a lot of this stems from being close to world-class universities and having, strong technical talent in our community.
Janice, can you talk a little bit about LiveRoad and the work that we've done to support them?
Yeah, LiveRoad Analytics is another really cool technology. So they take connected vehicle car data and weather data and road data and blend it all together to give a really specific input into where you should go. So benefit of this to fleets would be, hey, there's a storm up ahead and the road might be icy, so go a little slower. They were involved in our boot camp course, which for any new entrepreneur, you think we work a lot with inventors, scientists, technicians, and they don't necessarily understand the first thing about turning that into a business. How do you identify your customers? How do you figure a go-to-market strategy? We've been able to give them support around those things so that they can stay focused and do their best work on the technology itself. It's an exciting one to watch scale and grow.
As our roads continue to get ever increasingly congested, just building new roads is not a viable option, and it actually has not been a viable option for a long time. So instead, we need to make our existing road infrastructure and vehicles smarter with technology. My late father, Dr. Kan Chen, was a pioneer in the ITS industry. So it really was a gift to be able to work with my dad as a father and daughter team. And starting LiveRoad Analytics is basically a culmination of my entire growing up in this industry. We are contributing innovative weather solutions to enhance sustainability, reduce incidents and injuries, and make roadways safer for all road users, from commercial vehicles down to the passenger vehicles. It was an easy call to choose Ann Arbor as the place for LiveRoad Analytics to plant its seeds and grow. There are a number of incubators, accelerators, co-working spaces, and we would not be where we are today, as far as we are today, without Ann Arbor Spark. So a huge shout out to Spark.
Janice, can you talk a little bit around TORC and how they sort of entered our work and what you learned from those conversations?
Yeah, I happened to learn that TORC was interested in moving their operations to our area. We had a conversation where I was able to bring your team in, and then I'll let you take it from there because you have a much better understanding of how we were able to help TORC get settled here.
They had started by trying to identify ways to figure out what kind of talent is in the region. One of the great things about the work that we have is that we already have a network in place of people that are actively looking for opportunities in our market. TORC's interesting because they're doing a multi-city approach to this scale, and we wanted to ensure that Michigan and Ann Arbor were at the forefront of what they were trying to invest in terms of their time and resources. So we identified a tool at the state of Michigan called the Business Development Program. And then they were also looking for real estate opportunities. And given the relationships that we have with our brokerage community, with our real estate community, it's really really easy to assess what were they looking for in terms of a real estate component, and how could we be value added in providing them with data, information, relationships, and connections in order to make that a quicker process overall in the market.
The problems that we're solving here at TORC Robotics is really how to keep us bringing goods from point A to point B at a faster, safer, more reliable process. So our focus is really hub-to-hub trucking, long haul, so we can really focus on bringing us every good that we want to order, and we want our daily shippings from entry into the country to faster distribution centers to get to us in an overnight process. The most exciting part about bringing a team and building that out in Michigan is really the ecosystem of Michigan itself. It's the tradition around automotive excellence, really how it's been built up, demonstrated over generations. Working with Ann Arbor Spark, we've been able to keep further along and helping us through all the processes, whether it's through working with the Michigan Economic Development Committee and or growing and building our talent, finding our locations. Our teams have been consistently working with them along those lines. And my personal connection into Spark is I was actually at their tech track that they offer here. They shut down a whole road inside of Ann Arbor downtown. We were all there. I ran into some folks that I've actually been able to get and partner with on mentoring our FTC teams, and then also actually hired them. So there's a handful of folks from that community already joining into TORC and really being a part of our journey to the future.